work with him, but it was so interesting because there's hundreds of jobs that people don't even know about.
And only two, farmer and rancher, are on the front line. And the 298 are all these that we're hearing about. And you know, Indiana, when it comes to agribusiness, I know we have a question here in the front. We are top 5 in corn, in soybeans, in tomatoes, in eggs, in ducks. We're top 2 in popcorn and ice cream. Ice cream is considered a farm product, so I try to support farmers every night. Because I hope you do too. But I mean, again, you hear those data. It's our friends at Indiana University's Business Research Center found out it's over a $30 billion industry for our state. And when you think about it, it's over a $30 billion industry.
The corn and soybean.
Oh, corn, we're top 5 in the country in corn, soy, ducks, we're number 1 in ducks, eggs, tomatoes, and we're top 2 in popcorn and ice cream. Ice cream is considered an ag product, even though it doesn't grow on a plant. So yeah, and there's all sorts of jobs. And you guys know manufacturing, and I think this is a good thing. We are the top manufacturing state in the country. We have the highest percentage of our workforce in manufacturing. And you don't always hear that when you hear about all the jobs that were lost, and our friends in Muncie and Anderson know that so well. But do you know, in Indiana, we make more stuff. We made more stuff last year than ever before. And this year will be the same. We continue to manufacture more things with fewer people. Why? Because of the technology that's been discussed here. So again, that's what we need to help our young people become aware of. Karen?
Yeah. Quick question about, I guess it's more of like a hiring within kind of thing. As we advise kids in high school what paths there are out there, would you recommend us to send those students to you to get those lower level jobs that just require the high school diploma, get their foot in the door, start working, and then allow them to do some training? Maybe they don't know exactly which area they want to go into. Is that something you want them to do, or would you rather send them to those, the Ivy Techs and get those degrees and then come to you? I guess, which way would you rather us advise them?
It's got to be the individual. Some individuals already, they need a break.
Okay.
I needed a break. All right, need a break between school for whatever the personal situations, whatever it might be. And they may need time to get in, whether it's a maturity level, an exposure level, it's okay, I'm starting life for real type thing.
Knowledge.
So it's up to each individual. I don't think it's one or the other. And I think both are good. Our apprenticeship program, we have 7 maintenance and 7 die maintenance also. And 3 of the die maintenance had just completed the CPT MSSC program. And we interviewed all of them that were interested, and we took 3 of them from all, basically at weren't factory, brought them right into the apprenticeship. The others, through the interview selection process, were from inside. So it's really up to the individual.
So it's a little bit of both. I mean, that's good to hear though, because there's not one specific thing. So, being diverse is good.
Yeah, I know, like I said, my youngest, I'm sure he's regretting his college debt at this moment, thinking, okay, I didn't need to spend that money. I had a good time for a couple of years, but.
And I can't speak to every company, but specifically with DuPont Pioneer, we have 100% tuition reimbursement. So
Yeah. Can you say it a little louder so they make sure they heard that correctly?
Yeah.
My kid just switched to ag.
yeah. So
Could you repeat that?
yeah, so what we have is 100% tuition reimbursement, college education for our employees. You guys do the same? I know there may not be a lot of companies that do that, but you may have, to give a good example, you may have a student from, maybe you're in a smaller town and they've got some hands-on ag experience, or they're good with their hands, they're automotive, but maybe they're not thinking college yet.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and I've seen kids like that come in and they interview well, they've got good skills, they have that drive, they have the soft skills we're talking about, and we can teach them some of those technical things. And then what we require, there are some stipulations, they have to maintain a certain rating at work and they have to maintain a certain GPA, but if they accomplish those things, they can go to school part-time while they're working and have that 100% reimbursed. We have people very, very high in DuPont Pioneer that did that. They started right out of high school, spent about 6 years going through college because they couldn't do it very quickly, but they're in very high roles now. They just, that was how they found their way.
We have,
And then one other piece of that too, we have, we do the internship program. And then we require our interns to be in college. That's when we work through that program. But we have a position called an emerging leaders position. And what that is that's for a new graduate out of college. We generally look more ad-based education. But that's for that person right out of college that's interested in ag. And we basically immerse them in every part of our business. And they're in that program for 2 years, and then they usually move over to being an agronomist. So really a great program for those that do end up going to college. We teach them the way we need to teach them, I guess. It's just our way of doing it. But
I saw at least 4 or 5 questions. Let's start there. I'm gonna go there, and then come back this way. And then we'll have to, in at least 10 minutes. Okay.
Yes, Shirley Reagan, County Commissioner, and I started getting late, I just left the 7:30 meeting where we were talking about our shell building. We are getting so many hits from businesses, but you've all avoided the drug thing, that these employers, people can't pass the drug test. And trust me, from a family of teachers, I wish we could have double the counselors in the schools nowadays to help those students that no self-worth. And 1 in 5 people have an addiction. I just found out about 6 years ago on ADHD. Anybody know Melanie Riggins? My sister Melanie. She just found out about 20 years ago because she taught special ed, emotionally disturbed children. And we can't build any more jails. There's not enough money. These counselors are overworked, and the state needs to put more money into schools on addictions. And it's sad because we have a very good business here in town. Will not hire anybody with any addiction. And that's cigarettes. That's a very good company. But it's so sad that we go to these work one meetings and all the commissioners say that we're having trouble with the kids and the adults not passing the drug test.
It's a very real challenge,
Yeah,
very real challenge.
and their hands are full in the school, so problem, and I applaud everybody for being here to help us.
Well, thank you for being here as well.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, my question was, it sounds like a really good employee for you would be somebody that just came out of a career school, career technical education. Would that be an advantage that they already had some of those skills?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Sir?
And my question, if they work with the career centers, because I know I'm working with 8 different businesses right now, machining, to provide a pipeline for them to have potential employees. So those are kids who have expressed an interest, identified an interest, and work towards it. And some of them change their minds and go different ways, but they find that out before they get to you.
Thanks for showing them that option as you hear that jobs are available. Yes, sir.
I just wondered what the take-up rate was on the tuition reimbursement. I know we're in Northeast Indiana, and we have a great company there. They said they have an amazing partnership with our Ivy Tech, but they just can't get their folks to enroll. They're kind of happy staying where they are.
Extremely low for us.
same for us. Yeah, we have, I would say, probably only 2%, 2 or 3% of our workforce that's in it currently. At our facility, I couldn't give you the number across the organization.
Sir with the sweater vest, and then we'll come up a little bit.
Yeah, I have a question. I'm from Ivy Tech, and would like to know how you would like to structure apprenticeships or internships. Would it be like X amount of weeks in the classroom, X amount of weeks in the factory, or X amount of hours per day in the factory, X amount of hours per day? Just how do you like to slice it so it's maximally beneficial for you?
The model we're running right now, that works for us, and they are working 40 hours a week during the week, not eligible to be forced overtime, and they have classes 2 to 3 nights a week. Again, whether they're going to Richmond campus or this campus,
Right.
it's the same distance from us. So they go to classes 2 or 3 nights a week. They go every semester. They get the regular college breaks off, and they get a summer break, but it's shortened. We've actually done summer sessions also. pretty well. Now, the apprentices can volunteer for overtime on weekends, not during the week, so they have that right to. But you're asking a lot of people, you know, many of you took courses while you worked, it's difficult, so we stay
It's gonna be tough to figure out, yeah.
But we make sure we align what our actual needs are, and we sat with Ivy Tech and selected the classes, and we've revisited that as things have changed and whatnot. But we may not take every class that's on your academic track.
Yeah.
We may argue they don't need that second math class, okay, we need this, or they don't need this, whatever it might be. But what classes truly add value? Now, our hope is, once they're done, they're gonna come back on their own and get these next 6, 7 classes and finish their degree up, okay? But our focus is we need this technical. Now, and then hopefully they're learning the value, they're in a routine, keep it going, finish it up, and go from there. We've already got some of our apprentices talking about going on and getting a bachelor's in engineering, doing some things, so.
And I think, I'm sorry, I don't mean to, please do. I'm Claire Berger, I'm School of Technology Dean, and so, I'm working with Rick's, people. And I think a lot of what maybe we're trying to do throughout Ivy Tech, so that students know who are out there doing these kind of programs with the career centers or with job, industry, is that they are really close to getting a degree, and so they don't know that. They don't know that, and Bonnie's working really well to try to get that done. And so, we kind of cover the gamut, so it seems to me that we're all kind of pushing towards the same goal, right? We're all trying to get students and people a job, and, somehow we gotta work as a unit.
Rusty?
Just out of curiosity, obviously you're bringing these people in, roughly what's a starting wage for them when they come in, if they're just coming in today's coming straight out of high school?
In our organization, it's somewhere around 15, 17.
So they're not going to temp service or anything like that, they're coming straight in.
We have both, some come through temp and some come straight in. But it's like $9 and $10, and goes up to 12 and 14 for frontline. So we have an attendance bonus because of some of those soft skills discipline. If you can come to work, then you're gonna get a $1 bonus. If you miss, you lose it for so long, you gotta start over again, but.
Okay, Angie?
Yeah, Angie Mays from Work One. I did several workshops with business and education, and the educators are saying one of the things that we want to do is get our students into the different businesses so that they can get an idea. What is like a day at Pioneer like? What was a day at Marjorie? Did I say that right? I used to read your delays and closings on the radio, and I still watch that in my past life. Anyway, the big thing that we know that with a lot of our companies, you can't let the kids under 18 in. I mean, even to tour the facilities, things are locked down.
We've actually partnered with 2 of our county high schools and have high school internships. We run 8 to 10 high schoolers every semester. We gotta be careful where we put them.
Yeah.
But they'll get to the factory floor, not to run equipment, you know, but they'll work in stores, they'll work in HR, accounting, they'll be exposed, to work in training, different assignments. And it's been good. I mean, one young lady was very upset and we're gonna treat her like any employee, and she threatened to go tell her dad to come beat me up, so.
Really?
But she realized right away what she was, because she went in for HR, that wasn't what she wanted to do. And now I see her in town and we're great, everything's fine, you know, we got through it. But there's been, I'd say, a percentage that realized this isn't what I want to do. I got to look in this is what I thought, you know, this area. Some came right in after they graduated high school and they wanted to go right to work, and they did, and they're going to take advantage of the academic tuition we offer. And others came in and they've moved on from after the internship.
When you said you were a 4th generation Visteon, kids are 16, 17, you guys were working on it, and now our kids just don't even have that opportunity, especially in manufacturing.
Drew, do you have chances to visit and tour?
We can do tours, but we're locked into that 18 and over as far as.
I mean, the tour is one thing, but actually getting them on, you know?
What's that?
Is that because of liability?
Yes.
Joe?
Yeah, can you address, I'm from Work One as well, one of the big challenges for us is the temp agency making that transition from temp to working for you. And there seems to be just this barrier here. And as a person that coaches, employees, do you have some suggestions of ways that they can make that transition from temp onto the other side?
We have a point system for absenteeism, lates, and all those types of things. And we on a regular basis, we always have, every month, every couple of months, we look at, you know, if they're in good standing, we're taking them to temp to full-time. Today, we have 6 temps being converted to full-time. Every week, we run orientation every week. Turnover is a whole nother issue. But I'd say we have anywhere from 5 to 10 temps going to full-time almost every week. Those, and you hear our story, they won't let me, they take other people. They don't tell you they got too many points to our score, and that's the truth. If they're in good standing, it's strictly a points base, and they've been there 90 days, and they're eligible, and the next group we take on over. So,
Well, I
I don't
mentioned
know
it.
if that answers your question.
No, that's great. Again, goes back to the soft skills things you were talking about before, and that sometimes just revealing to a person, you know, did you know that this is how you're evaluated? It's helpful.
Last question in the back.
I'm Dr. Miller from Ivy Tech, and is there anything that we as a college can do to help promote students coming to college and working on their tuition reimbursement program? Is there anything that we can do? If you think of anything down the road, please let us know.
Yeah, it just made me kind of flashback. Back again, the Connersville, the Vista on 4 days, we did actually had Ivy Tech, Purdue, and IU different schools would come in and set up in a cafeteria about once or twice a year. Just set up like you're out here in the hallway. This is what we have to offer. And you just, I feel guilty because, yeah, we've not done that here at Arjun at all. So that's something we can do is open the door just to.
Well,
We would love to do that. That would be awesome.
I mentioned at the start, I hope that you would have at least one aha, if not many aha moments. And when the Lieutenant Governor mentioned the extra $1 million in funding, I saw a lot of eyebrows raised. I wish we could measure that in our outcomes. And then, you know, when we heard about 100% tuition reimbursement, there was an ah in the room, as well as the internships for high school students, like what? And a lot of folks scribbling furiously. So it's great to see the connection being made with the information. A couple of other things in the context of some of the comments from this morning. Keep paying attention to our state leaders. You know, they're redoing the high school diplomas, right? There's going to be a recommendation come September and probably approved by the end of this calendar year, with the whole idea being that the technical honors diploma likely will go away to an even more specific career tech ed diploma. So we all need to keep our ear to the ground to see how that evolves, and our state leaders, what they approve, and then make sure our students understand that as that moves forward. So, Kate?
I just wanted to make a quick announcement before the break.
Okay.
In our hallways, we have several of our program chairs and deans who have, and this is particularly for our counselors, they have the actual program sheets and pamphlets that help students, like this is the Surge Tech one, that just really takes students from what do I have to do to get into this program. And so all of our program information is in the hall. Please come out. You can chat with the deans, and if you would like any of them to come and visit your schools, we certainly are more than happy to do that.
Thank you. Make sure you watch for that. And I'm glad that Amy Marsh came back in the room, because one of the things the Chamber did is that survey of employers that found 39% of employers have unfilled jobs because they have not enough qualified candidates. So we have people who can't find jobs, and we have jobs who can't find people. And I think what you heard today is this sense of possibility that there are jobs and that there are pathways. So please thank Drew and Rick again for their time here this morning. And when we come back, if you have kids like working with their hands,